Whether you love your job or you hate your job, there is a mental trap that we can find ourselves in if we aren't aware of it. And I'm making this video to make sure that you don't fall into this mental trap, or if you're already in it, you can pull yourself out of it. Now, I'm going to start this off by explaining how you fall into the trap if you hate your job, and then I'm going to talk about how you can also fall into it even if you love your job. So I'm going to get right into this. Let's say you hate your job. You hate waking up and going to it every morning. It's miserable for you. So while you're there, because you don't want to be doing it, it's going to be really hard to focus. Whenever you lose focus, like we've talked about in other videos, your mind is going to ruminate. That's the sign for the default mode network to turn on and start rumination. When you start thinking about stuff that you don't want to think about, now you want to numb yourself. Whether the numbing is using a cell phone or it's altering your state of perception after work with substances, alcohol, marijuana, vapes, whatever it is, when you fall into this trap, what happens is, once you drink that beer or smoke the marijuana or pull out your phone and stare at it all night, you are training the brain to oscillate between the present moment and a distraction versus the present moment and your thoughts. And this is literally how you become unfocused. And when you're not focused, you're going to overthink. When you overthink, you're going to want to numb. When you numb, you're going to train the mind to be unfocused. And you're going to continuously be stuck in this mental trap where the only thing that alleviates the pain of not liking your job is distraction. And the distraction is the very thing that's making your job even more unbearable than it could be. It's toxic. So this is how you can fall into the trap even if you love your job. So unfortunately, a lot of jobs don't let you pick the pace of how you do things. They have a certain repetitive flow to the job, and you have to follow that flow. And what happens to us with repetition? If you repeatedly eat eggs in the morning, do you think about eating eggs? No. If you repeatedly drive on the same roads to get to work every morning, are you thinking about the roads? No. You're in autopilot. And when you're in autopilot, you stop thinking. You stop being focused. And when you stop being focused, your mind can ruminate. When your mind ruminates, you become mentally exhausted. You can numb yourself. You'll want to numb yourself. And you can fall into the path even if you love your job. It's a very slippery slope. Now, how do you avoid the trap? Step number 1 would be understand the importance of your career choice, in the sense that if you hate your job and you're only doing it to make money, you really have to reevaluate what you're doing. Now listen, I understand it's 2026. The cost to live, it's exponential. It is hard. It is hard out there. But the reason why I think a lot of people focus on this idea of I need to make so much money is because they want so much. And the more you want, the more you're training your mind to never be satisfied. And if you get used to having less, then less starts feeling like more. You start realizing that you can be happy with very little. I mean, the generations before us were happier. There was a time where it would just be you and your family and a shelter, and you guys got a little bit of food from the forest or whatever. And they were fine. They were happy. We're less satisfied now with more. So one thing I would say is pick a good career for yourself. Pick something that you'll actually be interested in, that you can focus on, so you don't fall into this depressive loop. Step 2 would be aware of the trap and know it's possible whether you love your job or hate your job. It's still possible. As long as you're aware that it could happen, you could start training your mind to stay focused. And that's step number 3. Practice staying focused on easy things, not just work. Meditation, open and closed eye. I talk about this in almost all my videos because that's what my channel's about. I believe in inner work. I genuinely do. You need to practice the art of staying in the present moment, even during things that you've already done a million times, because that's what ends up happening with work. After you've repetitively done your job over and over again, it becomes like brushing your teeth. It becomes like putting on your shoes. You get so used to it, so your mind will wander elsewhere, and you could fall into this mental loop. And step number 4 would be, if possible, switch it up on purpose. Do whatever it takes to remain focused. So like, say for instance, people talk about this. Instead of brushing your teeth with your left hand, do it with your right hand. Like if you're a lefty, do it with your right hand. If you're a righty, do it with your left hand. At work, if there's something that you can do slightly different to make it more challenging, to make yourself have to focus, try it out. Because the alternative is falling into this mental trap. And the mental trap causes a lot of this anxiety and depression that we see nowadays. As long as you're aware that this trap is possible, you can most likely avoid it, and that's what's important. I have ideas of how we could make work more enjoyable, but that's going to be for another video. I think this one's already pretty long. Please like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. I try my best to give you the wisdom that I've acquired through my non-stop desire to learn more. I read a ton, and on top of it, I've always just been very introspective, and I feel as though I'm giving you some good quality information. So yeah, please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.